we start today's Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatajayam Udiret Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. We continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, Chapter 7, the son of Draupadī. Shloka number 52, 53 and 54. Nishamya Bhīma Gaditam Draupadāya cha Caturbhuja.
निशम्य भीम द्रौपद्या च चतुर्भुज
Alokya Vadanam Sakyuhu Idam Aha Hasan Eva. Hasan Eva.
तो आह हसन एव
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्री भगवान उवाच
Brahma Bandhuhu na Antavya Atatai Vadaharanaha.
ताई
Maya eva Ubhayam Amnatam Paripahi Anushasanam. Kuru Pratishrutam Satyam Yattat Santva Yata Priyam. Priyam cha Bhīmasenasya Pancālyah Priyam eva cha Nishamya Bhīma Gaditam Draupadāya Caturbhuja Alokya Vadanam Sakyuhu Idam
पद्याः
Aha.
च चतुर्भुजः आलो
Sri
हसन
Bhagavan
एव
Uvacha
च
Brahma Bandhuhu Nahantavya Atatai Vadaharana. Maya eva ubhayam amnatam paripai anushasanam kuru pratishrutam satyam yat satva satvayata priyam priyam cha bhimasenasya
यथा
panchalya mahyam
प्रियम पांच ही एव
no sound clear.
साउंड इज नॉट क्लियर माताजी
No, not clear.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Just a second. Hare Krishna,
Nishamya
Hare
bhima gaditam padaya cha
Hare Ram, Hare
chatubhuja
Ram, Ram
Alokya
Ram, Hare
Vadanam
Hare. Am I
Sakyuhu
audible now?
Idam Hasan Eva. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Brahma Bandhuhu na Antavya Atatai Vada Arana Maya Eva Ubhayam Amnatam Paripai Anushasanam Kuru Pratishrutam Satyam Yat Tat Santvayata Priyam Priyam cha Bhimasenasya Panchalya Mahyam Eva cha. Please read Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. निशम्य भीमगदितं द्रौपद्या च चतुर्भुज आलोक्यवदनं सख्युः इदम् आह हसन् इव श्रीभगवान् उवाच ब्रह्मबन्धूनः हन्तव्य आततायि वदार्हन् मयि एव अभयम् आम्नातं परिपाह्यम् अनुशासनं कुरु प्रतिश्रुतं सत्यं यत् तत् सान्त्वयता प्रियम् प्रिय च भीमसेनस्य पाञ्चाल्या मह्यम् एव च
Hare Krishna.
निशम्य
Prabhuji,
भीमगदितं
please read.
द्रौपद्याश्च चतुर्भुजः आलोक्य वदनं सख्युर्हितम् आग हसन् इवः श्रीभगवानुवाच ब्रह्मबन्धुर्न अद्धव्य आददायि वदार्हणः maya evam atmanam amnadam paribahi anusasanam guru pragasthidam satyam yatyat santavayada priyam priyam cha Bhīmasenasya pansalya mahyam eva cha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Punam Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
निशम्य भीम गतिम द्रौपद्यश्च चतुर्भुजा आलोक्य वदनम सख्युरिदम अहसन इवा। श्री भगवान उवाच ब्रह्म बंधुर्नाहंतव्य आततायी वर्धाहरण मयि एव उभयम अमनातं परिबहे अनुशासनम कुरु प्रतिश्रुतं सत्यम यत् तत् संतव्य प्रियम प्रिय च भीमसेनस्य पांचाले मह्यम एव च।
Hare Krishna. Anyone who want to read?
Gaurangi Mataji.
No one is ready. Please once again heard. Nishamya bhima gaditam Draupadyaha cha Caturbhuja alokya vadanam sakyuhu idam aha asan eva. Shri Bhagavan uvacha Brahma bandhuhu na antavyaha atatayi vada arranah maya eva ubayam आम्नातं परिपाहि अनुशासनं कुरु प्रतिश्रुतं सत्यं यत्तत् सान्त्वयता प्रियं प्रियं च भीमसेनस्य पाञ्चाल्याः मह्यम् एव च. Anyone want again read? Otherwise we read translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Can I
ki
read
jai.
once, Mataji?
Yes.
निशम्य भीमगदितं द्रौपद्याः च चतुर्भुज आलोक्य वदनं सख्युः इदम् आहसन इव। श्री भगवान उवाच ब्रह्मबन्धून हन्तव्य आततायि वद अर्हन मया एव अभयम् आम्नातं परिपाह्य अनुशासनं कुरु प्रतिश्रुतं सत्यं यत्तत् सान्त्वयता प्रियं प्रिय च भीमसेनस्य पाञ्चाल्या मह्यम् एव च.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Caturbhuj, the four-armed one, or the personality of Godhead, after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi and others, saw the face of his dear friend Arjuna, and he began to speak as if smiling. The personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa said, a friend of a brāhmaṇa is not to be killed, but if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. All these rulings are in the scriptures and you should act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your wife and you must also act to the satisfaction of Bhīmasena and Me. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa had two arms, and why he is designated as four-armed is explained by Sridhar Swami. Both Bhīma and Draupadī held opposite views about killing Aśvatthāmā. Bhīma wanted him to be immediately killed, whereas Draupadī wanted to save him. We can imagine Bhīma ready to kill while Draupadī is obstructing him. And in order to prevent both of them, the Lord discovered another two arms. Originally, the primeval Lord is Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa displays only two arms, but in his Nārāyaṇa feature, he exhibits four. In his Nārāyaṇa feature, he recites In his original Sri Krishna picture, he resides in the Krishnaloka planet, far, far above the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Therefore, if Sri Krishna is called Caturbhuja, there is no contradiction. If need be, he can display hundreds of arms as he exhibited in his Vishwarupa shown to Arjuna. Therefore, one who can display hundreds and thousands of arms can also manifest four whenever needed. When Arjuna was perplexed about what to do with Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter just to make a solution, and he was smiling also. Arjuna was perplexed because Aśvatthāmā was to be killed as well as spared according to different scriptures cited by different persons as a Brahma Bandhu or a worthless son of brāhmaṇa. Aśvatthāmā was not to be killed, but he was at the same time an aggressor also. And according to the ruling of Manu, an aggressor, even though he be a brāhmaṇa, and what to speak of an unworthy son of brāhmaṇa, is to be killed. Dronacharya was certainly a brāhmaṇa in the true sense of the term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. But although Aśvatthāmā was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapon. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. All these were certainly perplexities. Besides that, Arjuna had to keep the promise he had made before Draupadi just to pacify her, and he also had to satisfy both Bhīma and Krishna, who advised killing him. This dilemma was present before Arjuna, and the solution was awarded by Krishna. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhecha Krupa Sindhube Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We try to understand shloka number 52 to 54. In these shlokas, describing about the Brahma Bandhu, aggressor, all these concepts are clear in discussing in these three shlokas. What Arjuna said and what he do after hearing from the Krishna, Bhīma, Draupadi, that clearly here discussed. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So very wonderful situation out there, which we can imagine, wherein Bhima is having one opinion, Draupadi is having another opinion, Yudhishthir Maharaj is having another opinion, Nakal Sahadev, everyone is having their opinions. And our Arjuna is simply caught there listening to everyone. the perplexity increases, confusion increases. And in such a situation, who better than Lord Krishna to actually guide? And so, Krishna, who is addressed here as Caturbhuja, he having heard everything, he was smiling and started speaking to Arjuna. That is, he started his guidance to Arjuna once again. Now just look at Krishna. He's ever ready to guide us. It's only we who are not looking at him and seeking his guidance. Arjuna is seeking the guidance and immediately he is giving the guidance. But again, Krishna is Krishna. So he will not do anything directly. So he again gives two scriptural injunctions that, first of all, a friend of a brāhmaṇa cannot be killed. But if he is aggressor, he must be killed. So, the two situations. So, Krishna tells Arjuna, you look at these readings in the scriptures and act accordingly. But remember, when you act, you have to fulfill the promise you gave to your wife. But you should act in such a way that you are satisfying Bhīma and me also. Really difficult situation. Wherein Bhīma, Krishna, they both want Aśvatthāmā to be killed. And Draupadi, who wants to save. But Bhīma is so angry, he is just waiting that he can pick up Aśvatthāmā and close the chapter. And Draupadi, she is respecting, trying to save. And it is boiling to a situation, the debate, that there could be an internal fight. And Krishna comes in between, stops Draupadi with two hands and stops Bhima with two other hands. And that is why Caturbhuja. Now, Krishna actually throughout Bhagavad Gita, if you remember, he appeared for the very first time in front of Vasudeva and Devaki in his Caturbhuj Roop only, Nārāyaṇa avatar. But then they prayed that we want a normal child. How can we give you love if you are having this form? And so then he converted himself to the original primeval situation, which is a Dvibhujdhari Govinda form. Then throughout the journey, he never showed multiple arms. Directly on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when he was guiding Arjuna through Bhagavad Gita, that time Arjuna requested, I would like to see your bigger form, universal form. And that time he showed him the form with thousands and thousands of arms. Arjuna became afraid. He said, oh Lord, I am feeling afraid. Please, I don't want to see this. And then again Krishna came to the Caturbhuj Roop. Arjuna said again, my dear Lord, I want to see you in your original form. And then he came back to the Dvibhuj Roop. Bye. So, this is how Krishna was showing that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, Caturbhuj Roop is his normal roop in the Vaikuntha planets. And we'll see in the Bhagavatam in further descriptions it will come how all the residents of the Vaikuntha planets are having Caturbhuj Rupa. But the Golok Vrindavan or the Krishna Lok planet is the highest, most superior. And there is always in the Dvibhuj Roop in the spiritual sky. And he was a dear friend of Arjuna. So after having stopped all the likely debatable parties situation between Bhima and Draupadi, he turned to Arjuna. Arjuna was perplexed. He knew he has to kill Aśvatthāmā, but he has to be spared according to scriptures. So a worthless son of Brahman, a Brahmabandhu, he cannot be killed. But an aggressor, he has to be killed. Because Manu has said it in his rulings, Manu Samhita. Now Dronacharya was Brahmana in true sense, but he was killed when he was on the battlefield. Now here, Aśvatthāmā was aggressor, but right now he was standing without any fighting weapons. So again, the scriptures say that if someone is without weapon or chariot, he cannot be killed. It's a complex situation. And above all that, Arjuna had promised Draupadi, if you all remember, that I'll bring the head of that killer, and then you can stand on that head and perform the last rites of the children. So he had to pacify Draupadi also. And Bhima and Krishna wanted him, Aśvatthāmā, to be killed, so he had to follow them also. So complete dilemma situation. And in such a situation, the solution can come only through our Krishna. In fact, throughout our life, we face challenging situations which leave us confused. For example, as devotees, we face so much confusion when deciding from whom should we take initiation, or whether we should go into Grihastha or continue as Brahmachari, or when to move to the Vanaprastha ashram. Now, if we just keep worrying about what to do, we often end up feeling more confused. Worry, confusion, and desiring. The confusion eats away our enthusiasm in whatever work we are doing, even bhakti. And we automatically succumb to the lower modes of material nature. And then the captivation by the mode of ignorance aggravates the confusion. So complete slackening of, I'll say flattening of devotional service. And we get far, far away from Krishna. So to avoid such misfortune, we need to recognize that confusion can also be a temptation. Anything that takes us away from Krishna is temptation. Lust, greed, anger, we can easily recognize such temptations. But confusion, it manifests the anartha of moha, a subtler temptation, and it also takes us away from Krishna. Makes us feel that we are pondering how we can best get closer to Him. So, to see confusion as temptation is not to deny that some situations are actually confusing. It is to deny the situation the power to erode our devotion. No matter how confusing the situation, we can always take small, clear steps towards Krishna by say chanting, praying, consulting devotee guides. What Arjuna did when he was dealing with confusion in Bhagavad Gita 2.6, if you all remember, he seeks illumination from Krishna in 2.7 immediately. न च एतत् विद्मः कात्र न करियो यत्वा जयम यदि वा न जयेयो यान एव हत्वा न जिजीविषं स te avastitah pramukhe dharatarashtra. So Arjuna says, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So Arjuna was not knowing whether fight or not to fight. So what does he do? Immediately in 2.7 he says, Karpanya dosha pahat svabhavam pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yachreyam syat nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyate aham shadimam tvam prapannam. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So, in fact, by nature's own way, the complete system of material activities is a source of perplexity for everyone. Every step there is perplexity. And therefore, it makes us understand the importance of approaching a bona fide spiritual master who can give proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. When faced with confusion, we can strengthen, not slacken our devotional service by diligently practicing bhakti, like say studying scriptures. So we protect ourselves from lower modes and try to rise to the mode of goodness that helps resolve confusion. In fact, by committed practice of bhakti, we please Krishna, who in due course of time guides us in his own inimitable way about how we can best come close to him, just like he guides Arjuna always. So, this is what is more important. Adverse conditions, they can be used as an opportunity to go spiritually strong. We have to just look at it. Once Radhanath Swami Maharaj gives this example in the lecture. He was taking a local train in Mumbai. Now you all know about trains. It is so full. And he was quite surprised. So when he wanted to get onto the train, he was pushed by passengers here there. But he wanted to board. So what he did is he just stood with face in front of the door, and without any effort, he simply got into the train. All he did was face the main door, and he was pushed into it by crowd. And when he wanted to get off, he simply turned the face towards the door, and again the crowd at the back pushed him, knocked him out of the train. So he actually did not do anything. He just had to do was change his direction, and his face turned to the door. Everything was happening automatically. So the crowd who is pushing the person can be like tons and tons of problems. The outcome, however, is safely landing in and out of the train. Only thing was appropriate turning of the face. We also need to turn our face towards Krishna. When we are having life problems, we are automatically pushed towards the outcome. Pain, torture, they are temporary. We just have to face towards Krishna, and they will all go automatically. In fact, all adversities are opportunities to grow spiritually stronger. You all know the story of the caterpillar who was facing troubles from outside by strangers attacking. It wanted to fly. So it made a cocoon around it, went into silence, meditated on Krishna to give wings so that it can fly away. After a while, it developed colorful wings and flew away. So wherever there is adverse situations, try to remain calm. Pray to Krishna. Krishna is there. Whenever there is a problem, trust in Krishna. Nothing ever lasts, neither happiness nor sadness. Everything comes and goes like seasons. Keep chanting. Read Bhagavad Gita wherever we find ourselves lost or confused. And that is the solution for permanently overcoming all kinds of perplexing situations. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.